Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Yulee. The doctor is in. How y'all doing tonight? I hope everyone is well. What do y'all think of my little Top Gun ensemble? Feeling like I'm going into the danger zone. Oh goodness. Well, I'm going to go ahead and remove my shades. Hope you guys have been having a great week. I am at the end of what has been a very, very fun week for me. I had my spring break this week and getting ready to go right back into the thick of it. But I had to come to you once again to drop off a little piece from the doctor. And this has to do with a few pet peeves. I have some pet peeves to share, top 5 if you will, on public transportation. Now, today in Boston was the observance of St. Patrick's Day. And St. Patrick's Day in Boston is a huge hullabaloo because there's a very big Irish-American populace and community here. So it's a big thing. You know, there's a big parade and all sorts of stuff going on. And so naturally, the public transportation system is going to be a little congested, more so than normal. So it just reminded me, the way people behave on this public transportation system reminded me of several things that really get under my skin, because pretty much all of the things I'm about to describe in a minute were these acts, heinous acts, were committed today. So I wrote it out, and I don't usually write out what I'm going to say in a way, but this is just to help keep me on task. So without further ado, here we go. Number 5. Do not litter. Yes, just as simple as that. Don't litter. The trains are not pristine and brand new and whatever, but that is no excuse to leave your trash, your unwanted items and things like that on the train. You know, I have seen some just gross displays of negligence. People shredding up newspapers and tearing up things and just leaving it scattered all over the place. And I'm just like, would you do that at your own house? I don't think so. So don't leave it on the train for someone else, for the next passenger to come in and have to step around or move off the seat or move out of the aisles. It's just not, it's not necessary, and it is so rude. So don't litter. Number 4. This is a little bit controversial, and I was thinking of not even saying anything on this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway, because this is kind of a blanket statement, but I'm going to use it for this session. Parents, control your children. It's for their own safety and well-being. The trains and the buses, as you should know, are not jungle gyms. They're not playgrounds. They're not places where people can jump around and hop, skip, and flip and do all those things that children like to do outside. I know kids get excited and they get all like, ooh, we're going into town, we're going to go see the game, we're going to go do this. But there is nothing wrong with you as their parent telling them in a very clear, authoritative tone, sit down and be still. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There has to be no raising of hands to strike a child. You don't have to yell and scream at them. Just be assertive with your authority, and they should be able to mind. You know, it's just not a safe environment sometimes, because the trains will sometimes suddenly stop, or they'll jack and gyrate all kinds of places. The buses especially make frequent stops, and for the adults, it's hard. It's not safe sometimes. You know, you have to hold on, or else you will go careening into the aisles or into the sea of people that are standing in line or standing in the aisles. So control your child. Number 3. This is a bit of a real annoyance thing for me. When the driver gets on the intercom and tells people to step in, move further into the train because there are passengers trying to get in or get off, do it. Why do people act like they don't hear what's being said, and they just like, well, I'm standing here because I got to get off in a second, so I'm going to stand here. My stop is 2 stops up. I'm not moving because I want to be able to get off. No. That is not the way to think about it. That is not the way to go about it. There is nothing wrong with moving in, people. Move in, let people have a way to get on. It will speed up the efficiency of the service. You know, you'll be able to get there and get on. People can get on, get off, you know, that sort of thing. And if you end up in the back and your stop is coming up, kindly say excuse me and move your way through the crowd. People will have to move out of your way because they're not going to just say, no, you can't get off, we're not going to move. I mean, come on, use your common sense. Move in when the drivers instruct you to do so. There's a reason why. It's not just to piss you off or to make you feel like you're going to get trapped into the train or the bus. Okay. So that was number 3. Number two. There is a major disregard of personal space on the train. In terms of people with careless arms and appendages and things, you know, legs crossing the aisle, refusing to move them, feet all in the way, you know, bumping into people and not saying excuse me. What is up with that? You know, would you want me to walk up to you and put my hand on a rail in front of your face like that? Would you want me to do that? Would you want me to have my arm all stretched up, my armpit all in your face? I mean, I know the trains and the buses can get very crowded as they were today, but there is no excuse for that. You can get yourself in a position, at least I always try to get myself in a position where if it's going to be crowded, I'm going to offend the least amount of people. I'm not going to just be careless and be all over the place. Even when it isn't crowded, there is so much of that goes on. So be mindful of the space around you and put yourself in the other person's shoes. Would you want someone putting their hands and their feet and their things all in the way where you can't get by, or where you're just uncomfortable and feel like you're smothered? No. So don't do it. Don't do it to other people. So, and last but certainly not least, number 1 on my list, loud talkers. Loud conversations on the bus or the train is a no-no. It's time to cut that out, people. What? Let it go. That's exactly it. And this has a few subcategories as well for me. One of my biggest pet peeves with the loud talkers is that people that speak in foreign languages, they feel that because they're saying it in a language where most people can't understand, that gives them the license to just shout, to be yelling across the bus or the train at their group of people, or even at the group that's right in their proximity, like standing right in the little area that they are. They're just shouting at each other. I'm like, what is the point in that? Just because you do not speak English or that you're speaking in another language does not mean you have to shout and scream and broadcast to the world, yes, I'm speaking in this tongue or that tongue or whatever. Keep it at a reasonable volume, especially when you're standing right next to the person. It isn't necessary. And this is also something to sort of go with that. Profanity level on the trains, it's a little obnoxious. I mean, I know people swear and it's a free country, you can say things however you want, but you do not have to put it on blast like that. People do not need to know about how effing great this was, or how effing hot that was, or how, you know, this, that, and the other. We don't need to know that to that extreme. Keep a lid on it. Mind your tongue, or else somebody's going to have to wash it out with soap. You know what I mean? There are children present. There are elderly people. There are people that are just trying to relax and be in the zone, read a book or whatever, and they don't want to hear all that. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Think, people. So I think that's all I have. That's my list. Don't litter. Control your children, parents. Move in when the driver tells you to move in. It's for a reason. Don't disregard people's personal space. Be mindful of your personal space. And last but not least, control the loud conversations. Keep it to a reasonable volume when you're talking to people. There's no need to shout and scream. So if you guys have any pet peeves or grievances about riding the public transportation system in your area of the world, please feel free to respond or comment and let me know. Hope you guys are doing well and the rest of your weekend went splendiferously. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Much love. Peace.